Hey everybody, this is Jeffrey Jansen. Today is June 25th, 2020. I hope everybody's having a great day and they're getting ready for the weekend. I know today is Thursday. There's a lot going on today. Right off the bat, want everybody to know that you matter, that you're important. What you say and do today means all the difference in the world. Make sure you tell your kids that you're proud of them. Make sure you let them know that you love them. Make sure that you never go a day without letting your kids know that they are important. Because one day you may not be around them, or one day they may be in a situation to where they have to think for themselves, and everything that you teach them and show them will come naturally. Kind of like muscle memory in the Marine Corps. Muscle memory is where you know how to do something automatically because you do it over and over so many times, you don't want to do it anymore. I'm going to tell you this though. I want you to know that each and every one of you, the reason why you're important is because y'all bring something unique to the table every time that you open your eyes in the morning and get up in the morning. It doesn't matter from what country you're from. It doesn't matter your language or your culture or anything else. Each one of us is unique and special. You know, there's nothing about us that's generic, okay? And I know a lot of people like to say that because they don't like to face the responsibility that we all have a position in life that is important. Now, throughout my life, my friends come in every shape, size, and that's one thing I love about where I come from. One thing I love about my life is my friends, my Marine Corps brothers and sisters and stuff like that. They're all different, and that's the greatest gift we can all have. Now, when people are going for jobs and when they need to be motivated, everybody's different. You know, everybody thinks that there's a fit-all solution to everything. There's not. There never will be a fit-all solution to anything, and that's a good thing, because if there was, gosh, life would be so boring. And we forget to tell ourselves that all the time. We so much want everything to be perfect all the time, or we want everything in our own way. But if it was perfect all the time, we'd be bored. It's kind of like, I used to go roller skating all the time, right? I used to go to Scotty Skateland, used to go roller skating every weekend. After a while, it just became boring. Why? Because there was nothing else to do. People get bored when they go to the same bars every weekend, or they do the same thing every weekend, and they start, getting in this stigma of, oh, I'm just bored today. They're bored because you need differences. You need something that is different at all times in your life. You need to know that people are unique, you're unique, So whenever you're getting out and doing anything, if you want your motivations to be high, I know some people, they go lift weights every day. But when you ask them if they run, they're like, oh, no, I don't like to run. Well, guess what? If you run and lift weights, your body will get used to doing both. And believe it or not only do you get bigger, but you can go longer because, like I said, cardio, whatever. But when you're going for jobs and everything, so many people are so dead set on they want to have one certain job, they don't realize their calling could be something completely different they never thought about. But if you never go looking for anything other than what you want, and you never have your mind open to the options of loving anybody different, or allowing anybody different in your life, or doing a different type of job, or, you're so busy putting people down for what they do, you may be the perfect fit for that one thing that they're doing, or that one person. Love comes in all different shapes or sizes. It comes in all different forms, And the one thing you should never do is put a cap on what you can or cannot do. So same with religion, same with how people worship God or worship whatever they worship, Everybody's different. And we're so busy trying to say to everybody that our way is the right way that we forget that it may be the right way, but so may theirs. And, we sit there and we want everybody to fit into our bubble, our square, that we forget that, our bubble and square is just that. It's a bubble and square, and we got to think outside it. One of the things I try to teach at all times, and one of the things I try to tell people all the time, is do stuff that's different. One of the things when I was in the Marine Corps that I love to do, and you guys have heard me say this all the time, is I love to go to different people's churches, congregations, religions, and, just to find out, just to see what's different about it, because they're my friends. I love them to death, right? And that's another reason why I tell everybody, you know what, the only thing in my community that I live in, where I'm actually at, is the only time we get mad at anybody is they don't show up for the barbecue. They could be a vegan. We'll have vegan food for them there. They could be Jewish or Muslim, and they may not eat pork or something like that. But you know what, something, if they're our friends, we're going to have a whole different grill that's never touched meat just for them, because that's what we do. That's what we do for our friends. That's what we do for our family. We don't judge them based on who they are or what they're doing, because we just want them there next to us, okay? So all these people that judge people because of skin color, because of their race or creed or culture, the thing about it is I feel bad for them is because they shut themselves off to some of the greatest wonders of the world. They shut themselves off to opportunities and ideas that come about. And then they try to teach what they don't even know. And that's what hurts people the worst. You know, you get all these people, you know, and it comes from all shapes and sizes when people do that. So we always got to make sure to stay motivated. We have to love everybody, and we have to put up with everybody, because they could be carrying the secret that we need the whole time. The secret that, you know, why are we not happy? Well, we're not happy because we live in a bubble. You know, you may be depressed or sad or have PTSD because you're doing the same thing over and over and over again and not changing the way you're looking at life. So what you need to do is you need to change your patterns. One of the things we learned overseas, and one of the things that just growing up I learned, take a different path going to work, going to school, you know, drive a different route. Keep changing up what you do. You know, make sure it's the same time to get there, but make sure you change it up. You know, a different scenery will make you start seeing things in a different way. You know, you don't have to change your belief system in order to see something different, okay? I had a buddy of mine tell me a story about Moses and that there's a whole nother book on it. I was like, I thought it was pretty interesting. You know, does that mean that's what I'm going to say, think, or do? No, but you know what? It shows me there's more to life than just one way of thinking. You know, and if you are religious, and I am, I mean, I believe in God, and, you know, I turn my problems all over to him. But one of the things I do is I leave it up to him. You know, and it's funny is because people try to put God in a box. They try to put their religion in a box. They try to put their culture in a box. They try to put their race and their sexuality in a box. And the thing about it is, these are things that can never be put in a box. These are things that are so open that, you know, when people sit there and they try to judge you based on what they believe, all they're doing is shutting themselves down to how life really is. You know, we could never complete any of our missions in the Marine Corps without everybody as a whole. Problem is, everybody as a whole, where I'm from, means everybody. Doesn't matter, man or woman, doesn't mean if you're black or white or green or color, whatever else. The mission got accomplished because we all work together. And the only way to work together is we all have to believe in each other. We have to know that the guy has our back behind us, and we have to know that the leaders in front of us are not leading us into a volcano. And they don't. But when you get out and you see so many people, you know, they shut down who they are. They have to keep people hidden from everybody. They have to live in a box, that they don't think outside that box. And I think, you know, one of the best things about the military I ever learned was we never lived in a box, you know, and everybody wants to say, oh, Marines and Army and everybody, they kill everybody. Actually, no. You know what Marines really do? You want to know the honest to God truth about the Marines, and you really want to know the truth? We are people, meaning whenever we go anywhere, our overall objective is not to kill anybody. Our overall objective is for humanitarian aid. Our overall objective is to make new friends. You know, I would never have known this, but I've been to so many different countries, and just lately it was on the news about Kosovo again, about the Kosovo president and everything like that. When we were over in Macedonia, and when we were over in Kosovo, the Albanians and Serbs, they might hate each other because they were taught to hate each other, but we had to work with both. And both customs and cultures were just awesome. The cheese, the meats, the breads and everything, they were great. And the people, they're funny, they're kind, they like to dance. And then all of a sudden, they have a life. They have a purpose in life. And the only thing about the reason why they don't like each other is because they were told not to like each other. But once they start getting around each other, just like here in the United States, you know, you face the uphill challenges of the past. But once you get around each other, it's like, wow, I actually like that. That's actually pretty neat. Or, wow, you know what? You can fall in love with somebody that you never thought you would ever fall in love with. You know, and a lot of people, they look at the military like we're just in a box. But we're not. Our overall objective is never kill anybody. Our overall objective is to make friends, to make good relationships, to basically experience cultures. And, you know, that can go with life every day. That can go with the motivation that you guys do every single day. The motivation is this: get your butt out of bed, make your bed. You know, it's a miracle you're alive, whether or not you're religious or not. It's a miracle that you are alive. It's a miracle that you're here today doing the things that you love. Why? Because those cells. Now let me ask you this: do you really think everything You can't explain why you got up today, but you did. And you know what? The world's a better place. But you want it, and you try to hold people down. You want to control people. Well, why is it that it's okay for you to do it, but not them? So just because you don't agree with somebody or because you've been taught something doesn't mean you're right. It doesn't mean that's how everything has to be all the time. It just means you were taught a different way, but you should really start opening up your ideas and who you are to differences in life. And that's what I come to find out. There's no need to be negative about politics and everything else. My God, politics today, all the different sides, all the different branches, all these different groups, they don't care what you and I think. They only care that they control what we say and do, and they have their little bitty, quick militaries to get across their objective. The problem is their objective is not humanitarian. It's control and power. And that's never a good thing. I watch people on here argue and stuff about coronavirus, about Democrats, Republicans. I see them hating on Trump, and I see them hating on Biden and Obama. And, there's good and bad in everything. But instead of looking at the good that people do, they just got to look at the bad. And then they got to promote the bad. Problem is, if you start promoting the good in everybody, and you actually start showing the good what people did, you'd be surprised how many people come around and be like, you know what? That's not what's going on at all. And they start having their own opinion. One of the things that dictators, totalitarianism, kings and queens always want, they don't want people to have their own opinion. Own opinions are very deadly to shut off communities, to shut off cultures. And that goes the same with all of us. In our daily lives, every single day, if we shut down and we only want things a certain way, it's funny because we don't make the money. We don't, get the jobs. We don't, do the things we need. But once you open up your ideas that anything is possible, like I was telling you about the long jumper yesterday, I really got to remember that guy's name. But like I was trying to tell you, with that long jumper, all of a sudden nobody could do it. But he did it. And once he did it, everybody else was doing it. But it took years for somebody to realize that, hey, just because they set the bar there doesn't mean you can't raise the bar. I think sometimes in life, some of the biggest challenges and some of the things we need to do is raise the bar, not just for ourselves, but for everything around us. We need to learn from history. We need to open our minds to the possibility of all the endless possibilities. We were told, if you own a business and you're told you can only get so much money and you can only make so much, that's not true. The future hasn't happened yet. All of a sudden social media comes about. Now people are making 3 times as much. But before the world, okay, no one ever thought that anybody can make that kind of money, that much money. But he created Microsoft and he created Windows. Problem is, a lot of people don't. Mexico, who got into the cell tower business, okay? And he started doing cell phones. He became the world's richest person. And that was in Mexico. Okay, Jeff Bezos, okay? Amazon. Everybody thought that Walmart could never be beaten. Everybody thought that Staples could not be beaten. Everybody thought that Amazon couldn't be beaten. Did you know that Dollar General and Aldi's actually outsold Walmart? And what's funny is because nobody ever thought that those types of stores would ever do any better than the big giants. Life has giants. And how do you slay the giant? With knowledge, common sense, goals, consistency, constantly working towards becoming better, opening your mind and soul and body up to different ideas, different ways of going. Now, that doesn't mean you got to change your belief system. It just means you have to open up to what is going on, okay? And Jeff Bezos, Amazon, well, guess what? Do you not think they're making a fortune now with the coronavirus and everything else? Heck yeah. But that's because we can't get to the other places. We can down them all as much as we want to, but without those places, we wouldn't have the foods on our table and everything else. Think about it. Without truck drivers to get us the stuff to us, we would not have we would not be able to do anything today. Okay, now just think about it. No truckers on the road driving and hauling freight or wind farms or anything else, okay? Then we would never be able to argue. Our communities would be closed to each other. All I'm saying is keep an open mind on everything you do. If you want to get motivated, be motivated. If you want to go out there and you want to get in shape, you're not going to do it in one day. Think about it. If you're overweight right now, okay, and you tell everybody, well, I'm going to get in shape. I need to get in shape. Great. Quit telling people and go do it. And then if you go out one day and you never do it again, then technically you're not out of shape. You're just out of time. Because because you don't want to do what it takes. You don't want to go to that extra mile. Okay? With so much stuff out there, there's no reason why you can't. It's just you won't. There's a difference between can't and won't. So whenever you do anything in life, tell people they matter. Okay? Because you either can't or you won't do it. And if you won't tell people they matter, and you won't accept people for who they are, and you won't go in, research it yourself, and you won't try other things, and you won't try, like, say, Thai food. Not everybody's going to like Thai food. Not everybody's going to like Chinese food. Not everybody's going to like Vietnamese food. Not everybody is going to like soul food. Not everybody's going to like, Midwest cooking. Not everybody knows what grits are, and they're not going to like grits. I had grits in the Marine Corps. Believe it or not, I never had grits before. Or collard greens. I didn't even know what they were either. You're never going to know until you try it. And I guess you could say religion and food are the two things that allowed me to step outside my comfort zones. And the reason why it allowed me to step outside my comfort zones is because I got to see a different approach. I got to see something different. It didn't take away what I believe, and it reinforced what I believe. But remember, if you're trying to force your will on somebody, they're never going to believe. They're never going to do anything because you're trying to force your will. You're trying to control them. I've seen people on Facebook and social media that says, if you're a Biden lover, don't even add me. If you're a Trump lover, don't even add me. And I'm like, why? My friends, believe it or not, they like all parties. They don't like any of them. And you want to know something? I got a great community for that on my YouTube page. You're right. Some people are like, oh, you got all these weird. No. I have a great friend of mine by the name of Jeff Jansen. If you go to his page, Jeffjansen.info, it's not me. He's a televangelist, and he does a great job. And he's down in Tennessee, and he basically is a great guy. The reason why I did my YouTube pages and my Facebook pages is because I need to give people an idea that there's other things that they can do with their kids, or what they can do out in the public, and show everybody what you can and do with your kids, or can and do as an adult, or what you can do at Six Flags or Great America or Disney World if you're going to travel, or you're going to go to the zoos, or you're going to eat or cook or bake, because I don't want to lose those memories. And so I allow people to see glimpses into the stuff that I do, just to show you that I don't just talk. You can't just talk to talk, okay? You have to follow through and be consistent. If you're going to ask somebody to do something, you have to be consistent. And to me, my friends, I believe it or not, growing up, I never saw my friends as a color or a race. And today I see them and I talk to them, and I hear stuff about race and stuff like that. But I don't look at any of my friends like that, because I'm like, we've never grew up like that. And it's taught at birth. So go out today, tell people you love them, tell people that you care, open your mind to new possibilities, read a different kind of book, turn the channel on the TV, turn off the TV, go and try to tell people how you feel. Maybe they can actually talk to them. Don't shut yourself down to the world. And today, to be motivated, do what's best for you. Okay, it doesn't matter where you come from. Now, there's always going to be haters out there. You know how many people are probably hating on me right now just because I'm talking? I was taught a long time ago, you stick your head out of a crowd, somebody's going to throw a tomato at you. And I really, truly believe that, It doesn't matter how much stuff we do for the Soapbox Derby. Someone's going to hate us for it or accuse us or something. It doesn't matter how much we do with our kids. Somebody sees something, they're going to accuse or say something because they're just mean. People look at me because I'm a Catholic or something. Oh my God, right away, I'm the Antichrist and all this other. I'm like, what? It makes no sense. But no matter what you do, somebody's not going to like you. But that's okay. Because you want to know something? It doesn't matter. It should never matter. One person's opinion should never matter. Because somebody wants you to fit inside their box and you don't do it, that should be a compliment. Because it means that you're doing stuff right and they're just too close-minded. Doesn't mean you got to hate them. Don't ever hate them. Just be great today. That's why I tell everybody every day, make your bed when you get up, get your shower, brush your teeth, get your kids ready to go, get a little food in you, but just be great. And no one's going to get mad at you for being great. I'm very big for law enforcement, and I know they're just doing their jobs and everything else. But if you think about it, they have to go into neighborhoods and stuff with drugs and guns and everything else, and they're scared just like all of us, And if they didn't have to go into those areas, or they didn't have to deal with trying to babysit each and every person, they wouldn't be so hostile or so uptight to worrying about their own lives, because they have families to go back to. Just like the Marines that are overseas and everything else, they want to come back home. So when they do a mission, like I said, you get more flies with honey than vinegar, right? So in the Marine Corps, You don't want to kill anybody. You don't want to go and hurt anybody. You don't want to go trample down floors and go in people's houses and stuff, because you know when you do that, you're going to cause hostility, and the chances of them, you know, getting mad at you go up. But if you go in there and you shake their hand, you talk to them, you don't have your guns pointed at them, you don't have, you know, you're going in there and let them know, hey, we just want to make sure you're okay. You don't go busting into their houses or anything. Then all of a sudden they're like, hey, you know, this isn't so bad. They're not trying to kill me. They're, you know, they're just here. And that's the case. Don't do things that are going to, you know, benefit the people that don't like you. You know, don't feed into their culture. Don't feed into their hate. Because like I said, if you feed into their hate, that's when you got to worry. You know, I always tell my truck drivers, and I'll leave it at this. I tell my truck drivers all the time, when you're getting pulled over by IDOT or, you know, the Department of Transportation, or you have an inspector, or you have a police officer, and they're kind of hostile towards you, you got to understand that probably the last 6 or 7, you're not the only person they pulled over today. You're not the only truck driver they pulled over. And the last 6 or 7 people that they pulled over, they probably told them off, told them where they could shove it, didn't have the right paperwork, you know, they were probably extremely rude. And you know something, if you come at the person with kindness and actually mean it, say, yes, sir, no, sir, you know, and just follow the rules, more than likely, you're not going to get a ticket. More than likely, they may be hostile at first, and you just give them, you know, just be nice to them, be kind. And you tell them thank you, and you appreciate what they're doing, and you appreciate, because you remember, they're on there to keep us all safe. And for the most part, if you're kind to them, they may end up just not giving you a ticket. Now, that's not always going to be the case. You may deserve one. But whether they give you a ticket or not, what's a bad attitude going to do? Other than make them want to give you more tickets, or make them put something on that ticket that's going to make sure that they're going to show up to court, you know? But if you're kind to them, maybe they just needed a kind word. Maybe they just needed to know that, hey, not everybody out here, you know, is hostile. So be kind to them. Give them a good word. No matter if they give you a ticket or not, give them a kind word. Maybe somebody in the military, maybe someone of your neighbors just needs a kind word today. Maybe they've had so much negativity. That's why I tell people, if you see somebody that's negative and they're in line, they're mad or anything else, you know, and you smile at them and say, hey, it's great seeing you today. Maybe that's all they needed, because maybe they're going through a death. Maybe somebody just died. Maybe somebody's going through cancer. Maybe, you know, their kids are at home sick and they can't get out of the house. But when they do get out of the house, they're so stressed out that, you know, and people are being rude because they're not wearing, or because they're wearing a mask and they're scared for their kids. And then you're like, hey, I understand. You know what? I just want you to know that you matter. You know, I understand why you're doing it. And it's going to stop them dead in their tracks, like, oh, wait a minute. And they're going to question themselves. Kindness will go a long way. And when you're kind to people, they will then go home and they're going to say, you know what, the world's not so bad. If you're rude to somebody, you always take that risk that you could be that one straw that breaks the camel's back. And I've had several friends, you know, they took the unfortunate way out that they should never have. And you don't know if it was somebody negative to them that really pushed them. We don't know that. But we do know that if you're kind, and the last words that somebody hears is kindness, that will make all the difference in the world. So remember this, no matter what you do today, be kind to the people around you, no matter how you feel. Because if you're the last time that somebody talks to somebody, if you're the last person somebody sees, and all they see is kindness, then that will make all the difference. Don't be that straw that breaks the camel's back. Don't be that one person that, because you're going through a hard time, you want everybody else to. Because maybe it's you that needs the kindness, and someday it'll be returned to you by being kind. I'm Jeff Jansen. I just want you to know that I appreciate each and every one of you. I want you to know it doesn't matter who you are. You're important. You matter. Gracie Ann, I love you with my entire heart. My little girl, I love her with my entire heart. I understand there's bad people out there. I understand there's negative people out there. I understand that we cannot protect everybody. Me personally, I ask God to go ahead and take care of what I can. You may do that too. When I was in the Marine Corps, I prayed a lot. Because like I said, every day is a new day. Every day is a new challenge. Make your day great today. Make it great. Be kind. You don't know whose life you can save. And you don't know whose life you can save. 3 butterfly effect. Be kind to somebody, and they'll be kind to you. I'm Jeffrey Jansen. If you want to know what's more about it, go back and watch all this. And I just want you to know it doesn't matter who you are. You matter. You're important. Don't ever think that you don't matter. Don't ever think that you're not important. Don't ever think that you can't go outside and the light's going to be shining on you. Why? Because you're just that great. All right, everybody. I'm Jeff. You guys have a great day, and I will talk with everybody soon. Bye now.